So, we're smack in the middle of a full-blown AI gold rush. It seems like everyone is a prospector, staking a claim as an expert. But in this super crowded field, how do you actually tell who's struck gold and who's just selling maps? Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? Well, today we're going to explore a new benchmark that's starting to pop up, a way to separate real-world skill from just, talk. Okay, let's dive into this with a really fascinating case study, NVIDIA's high-level certification for generative AI. Think of this as our guide to figure out what skills are now the absolute gold standard in this space. Right, so who is this really for? I mean, who is this demanding journey actually designed for? Who are the people taking on this kind of challenge? First things first, this is not an entry-level test. It's an intermediate-level credential, and it's all about validating serious, hands-on experience with large language models. Yeah, this is for the folks who've already gotten their hands dirty in the trenches. And this quote right here, it really sets the baseline. What this means is they expect you to already have a solid grasp of some really complex topics. We're talking transformer architectures, advanced prompt engineering, all the nuts and bolts before you even think about signing up. And just look at the range of roles here. It's not just for the hardcore coders. It spans from the software developers and ML engineers who are literally building the models, all the way to the AI strategists and solutions architects who are deciding how to use them in a business. All right, now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the exam itself. You should think of this next part like a treasure map. It really points directly to the most valuable and sought-after knowledge in the entire AI landscape today. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the biggest slices here: model optimization and GPU acceleration. What does this tell you? It's not just about theory, right? It's about making these powerful models performant, efficient, and actually useful in the real world. So what in the world does model optimization actually mean? Well, it's the biggest piece of the pie for a reason. It's all that practical, nitty-gritty work of deploying these massive models into production, making them fast, scalable, and reliable. This is where the rubber really meets the road. And check this out. A whole chunk of this exam is dedicated to responsible AI. And that, right there, is a huge signal. I mean, with public scrutiny at an all-time high, it's clear that being a true pro isn't just about building powerful AI anymore. It's about building safe and responsible AI. It's becoming totally non-negotiable. All right, so if you're one of these seasoned pros and you're thinking about this, how do you even start preparing for a test this tough? Yeah, what does that journey look like? Well, NVIDIA actually lays out a pretty clear path through a bunch of workshops and courses. I mean, it covers the whole shebang, from super cutting-edge stuff like retrieval augmented generation, RAG, all the way down to deep code optimization with profiling tools. It's a really comprehensive path. And here are the brass tacks, the essential details for anyone even thinking about taking on this challenge. It's an online, proctored exam, and it's valid for 2 years, which, makes sense. It means you got to stay current in a field that moves at lightning speed. So it's $200. That's the investment you make for an industry-recognized validation of your skills. And get this, you have just 90 minutes to prove it all. An intense, proctored session to show what you know. No pressure, right? Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Because, look, whether you're planning to take this exam or not, the very fact that it exists has these huge implications for the entire tech industry and really the future of AI. What we're really seeing here is the industry growing up. It's a shift from that chaotic, Wild West phase into a structured, professional field with clear standards and benchmarks for what it actually means to be an expert. So, here's the bottom line. A credential like this basically puts on paper exactly what companies are desperate for right now. They don't just want dreamers, they want doers who have practical skills, a laser focus on efficiency, and a real commitment to safety and ethics. And for anyone who actually completes this whole journey and passes the test, the reward is more than just knowing you did it. It's a verifiable digital badge that basically screams, "Hey, I'm one of the industry's validated pros." So this all leaves us with one last but really important question to chew on. As the AI field gets more professional with standards like this, are we building the key to a safer, more reliable AI future? Or are we accidentally putting up new walls that might keep the next generation of brilliant, self-taught builders from ever entering the field? That's something for all of us to think about.